Alright, sorry for the kind of shoddy drawing, but I was in a hurry when I did this one, because I really wanted to get this video out here. First off, before I start my little talk on Donald Trump, I'm going to say that politically I am libertarian. Libertarian ideologies are neither conservative nor liberal, but somebody who finds common ground on both sides. Now, obviously, I'm going to talk about Donald Trump. Now, there's a lot of people out there that love Trump. Other people hate Trump. But in my opinion, Donald Trump is the most confusing president we've ever had. Let me explain. He seems to always be blaming everything on the liberals and the Democrats. Every time something goes wrong, oh, it's the liberals this and the Democrats that, blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, if you look at the past presidencies, he's the only president who has not been able to get Democrats and Republicans to work together. Now, there's the whole collusion with Russia thing. That one, I'll admit, I'm kind of on the fence about. I mean, I've seen too much evidence both ways. The whole election tampering that people said, well, that I'm also on the fence about, because I've seen evidence again supporting, yeah, he did, and, other evidence saying, no, he didn't. With Donald Trump, it's hard to truthfully get the facts. I mean, I did not vote for the man because he supported the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which I strongly felt would undermine our United States Constitution. And at the time he was campaigning for president, Mr. Trump was in full favor of the TPP, something that I was fully opposed to. And Hillary Clinton, well, she can't be trusted to tell the truth. And even though she was claiming that she would oppose the TPP, I didn't want to take a chance on her, so I voted for a third-party candidate, like I do almost every general election, because I think it would take, a third-party candidate member to really, quote-unquote, drain the swamp. Now, getting back to Trump, though, I think that when the president gives his speech, the State of the Union address, regardless of whether he or she, yes, I believe that one day we will have a woman president, not Hillary Clinton, I don't know who. Anyway, he or she should sound very well professional. Like, they're confident in their speech, and they know what they're talking about. And I feel that Donald Trump, having that unpolished, really amateurish speech, his last State of the Union, reflects bad on the United States. Because I strongly believe that the way the president does the speech and, the professionalism of the president reflects the morals and basically reflects the country and presents the United States in a professional manner. Now, the two things that Trump seems to be the most, and just on a side note, I'm not going to touch the whole Russia collusion or whether or not I think Trump should be impeached and, that other stuff, except outside of saying that I really believe that Donald Trump needs to just pick up a book on public speaking, download an ebook on public speaking and read it and practice more. And as far as his hobby with golf is concerned, um, whatever the president wants to do, whatever the current president wants to do to relax in his or her spare time is up to him or her. I mean, I wouldn't make fun of a president that played video games and, in his or her spare time. And golf seems to be a popular sport of the president's, so anyway, Donald Trump seems to be focused on two things: building the wall, the border wall, and the Space Force. I'm going to start off with the Space Force. Initially, when I heard the words Space Force, I thought it was a joke. And I was like, I laughed at it. But then I got to thinking, back when the Air Force was first invented, there's probably people that were laughing at that name too. But now they take it seriously. I don't understand the need for the Space Force. Because, we already have NASA. And the other thing I don't understand is not picking Florida for the headquarters of the Space Force. Unless Trump is going to go for Alabama, which is where I think, if I remember right, there's some kind of a NASA-related thing there. Please put in the comments if this is, true or not. Or if I'm thinking of a different state. Now, I don't know what the Space Force will entail, and like I said, I don't really see a need for it. Now, the other biggest thing is the infamous border wall. Well, Trump's citing how walls work for prisons and correctional facilities. Well, one thing that everyone's got to remember is that the prisons are basically a wall on a small scale. And I understand why people are supporting the wall. They want less drugs and less crime and human trafficking into the United States. Hey, preventing those things from coming into our country along with keeping the illegals out, hey, good on ya, good stuff. However, the biggest problem with the wall, and it's being discovered in the Great Wall of China, and it's being discovered, apparently back before the Berlin Wall got tore down, people were doing this as well. But with walls, the biggest disadvantage to a wall is that people are going to make tunnels underneath it. And it's not going to stop the illegal drugs and the illegals from entering the United States, because what's going to say that they're not going to just build tunnels and, tunnel under the wall? I mean, it happened apparently with the Great Wall of China. It happened with the Berlin Wall before that was torn down. Who or what's to say it's not going to happen with Trump's wall? Now, I do agree that our borders do need to be secured. But I think the best way to do that is to pull all of our troops out of wherever they're at and have them patrol our borders and have a highly electrified, high voltage electric fence along the border. I think that, not only would it be better than the wall and keep everyone from tunneling under. You know, maybe build the fence about 8 feet down or something, and do like they do with the underground motion sensors like they have with prisons. You know, I think that would work. But in conclusion about Donald Trump, like I said, he's the most confusing president we've ever had, in my opinion. Now, I promise you better drawing quality next week. Next week is going to be a public service announcement from me. If you hear noise behind me when I'm doing my videos, on a side note, that's just my son Cody. See y'all next week.